What's up, gamers? There's Christian. There's Ryan. Today we're gonna go fuck with Tyler in the bathroom.
I'm gonna go fuck with Tyler. I'm gonna come on the other side.
Wait, hey, what are you doing, man? What are you doing in here? Taking a shit?
Yeah.
I see his wiener.
Don't touch me.
I see his wiener.
This is not okay.
Is this your private time?
This is what happens when you don't shut the door to take a shit.
Well, I can't. No, neither of those doors fucking lock, you jackass.
You shut them, you expect
This
privacy.
one locks. No, you can still. Just
Thank you for joining me today on my journey to fuck with Tyler in the bathroom.
Closing this door.
Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? Gambling Gamers back with episode 8 of Views Beyond the News. We're still here, surprisingly.
We
I
on
don't
two
know why.
hands
This
now.
8 weeks in a row.
2 hands.
1 week off.
Yeah, we took 1 week off
We've
for
been
a
doing
break.
this for
but
2 months.
Yeah, this is episode 8.
Dude, I'm proud of us.
I am too. This is probably the most committed I've ever been
about
to
to say,
something
damn
YouTube.
right.
This is the
Episode
most
8.
consistent we've been without being required to do it.
Yeah, because, I mean, me and you...
I don't think I've gone to school 8 weeks in a row.
Well, me and Ryan started the channel back in high school. Like, it was a project that we worked on. We wanted everybody who played Xbox with us to be involved. There were people in Dallas we knew who were involved in videos. You were in videos. I wish we'd known Josh at the time because he would have been a great source in the videos like he is now.
Yeah.
But we started it back in high school, and back then it was just kind of one of those that we had an ambition, we had an idea, and we started it, but we didn't necessarily have the technology and the equipment to fulfill it. So after several weeks, we just kind of gave up.
Also,
even though our highest viewed video had 130 views at one point.
That's
Which was
bigger than our
fucking-
town.
That was
Wasn't
fucking crazy.
What was
What?
the,
It was our GTA special, 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of
Oh,
July
okay.
special.
For some
I
reason,
didn't
like
play
literally
GTA with
within
y'all.
6 hours, it had 100 plus views. And me,
The one time I
Ryan,
played
and Casey
GTA
were like, oh my god.
The one time I played GTA with you, I accidentally blew up your Lamborghini, and then you went to the spawn and killed me 30 times in a row.
Well, that's the thing. We were playing GTA 4. So in GTA 4 and GTA 5 are so different because GTA 4,
It's the only one I've ever played.
GTA 4, there wasn't owning houses, there wasn't buying cars. Everything you did was just off the street for fun. And finding a Lambo in GTA 4 was fucking impossible.
I didn't even know
And
I
the
had
first time I
C4.
find one, Tyler goes, "Here's a grenade," and fucking blows it up. I was like, "You son of a
You act
bitch."
like I meant to do it. It was literally the first time we ever playing the game, and he pulled up next to me. I was like, "What's this button do?" And it was like, ka-chink. I was like, "Christian, you should drive." And he was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Did you just blow me up with a grenade?" And I was like, "No." And then I just literally tried to hide around the
I'm
city.
pretty sure I
and he
spent the
found
next
me.
30 minutes just running him over with every car I could find.
Yeah, he hit me with a semi truck at one point.
But-
Scared the
Jesus.
shit out of me because I spawned and I was like, I don't see him anywhere. And I turned around and I was like, oh shit, there's a semi truck. Just
But-
fucking hit the shit out of me.
Outside of the fact that we are not consistent people, I'm actually very proud of us for doing this long.
No, I
And
mean,
I hope we continue.
episode 8.
Yeah.
We're almost episode 10. That's a milestone in my book.
That is. It's a complete milestone. And I'm
Yeah.
hoping to only get better because last night I did order one of those clip-on microphones for $11.99 that I want to try. Yeah.
I'm pro out here.
Because if it works as well as I think it does, I'm going to try to get all of you to get one. But
Cute.
it's going to be total test run. But today we're going to start out talking about Samsung's new foldable fucking smartphone, which is nonsense, but it's kind of cool. So
Throwback Thursday.
everyone has seen it. Everyone knows what it is. But why? What's the point? I mean, at one point in time, technology, we had shitty flip phones. Like, I was just explaining to you before we hit play on the camera that back in the day, like, I remember Blackberries and flip Motorola phones. Sitting there texting somebody was a pain in the ass. You had to hit one button 3 times to get to the letter you wanted to. And do you guys remember on older phones how they used to do it? Because I remember having a Blackberry. And Blackberry was like the most advanced phone I'd had at the time. And it was so cool to have the little scroll wheel, and it was fantastic.
I remember that.
But it was also one of those that, like,
full
if somebody
keyboard
sent
on
you,
it, though.
if someone sent you a text and you sent one back, or you were in the process of sending one back, if they responded again, it wiped your whole text message and made you start over.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I do, because I remember I was texting Catherine one day, and she's a very fast typer. Not because she's Asian, but she's a very fast
No
typer.
one knew her race to begin with.
Yeah, I was
Well,
saying,
I'm
I was
just throwing it
like,
out there.
God damn it.
So, Catherine literally would send me one text message and in 2 seconds send me another paragraph. In 2 seconds, another paragraph.
Oh my god.
And every time she sent me a paragraph, the one sentence I had time to write got wiped off my phone before I could send it. And I was like, Catherine, I can't respond because you're texting too fast. Why aren't you responding to me? Why aren't you responding? I'm trying. You won't fucking let me.
Your caller be like, listen here, you little bastard.
But-
Quit it.
But we, at one point in time, had shitty flip phones, and then these were the future. these awesome touch phones where you can do anything on the screen. There's not a whole lot of buttons. And we moved away from the flip phone era. But now we're at a point in time where Samsung's making a phone that's twice the size of this. And the screen just folds. Like the glass in general.
I don't know. The reason why is because bigger screen. You've seen that.
How
phones,
blind does one person need to be to have a phone the size
yeah,
of
but
two
you know
phones?
how humans are. We think bigger is better always.
I don't
like,
want one of those.
Have
in
you seen
Texas.
have you seen like a
God damn
when
it.
TVs first started out? Screen was like this fucking big in a giant wooden box, and now
You got flat screens.
like a 55
So
inch
how
flat
long
screen.
before we can fold our flat screens up and carry them like a suitcase?
They've thought about they've done that, but the only problem is there's no power source.
Well, LG made one. It's called
Yeah.
the wallpaper or whatever.
Yeah.
You can fold it.
I was like, I know that they're
That's a
making
thing.
like the big like curved TVs now, like they do the monitors.
I don't like those,
I
dude.
thought
That
they
shit hurts
stopped-
my
I thought
fucking
they
head.
stopped making those.
No, they still make them.
No,
LG
Still make
does.
them? Oh.
LG's the only one that I know that's ever made those. And Samsung? They made the Samsung Curve,
LG's a
right?
piece of shit, but
Really?
I
Whoa.
hate LG.
Why?
I like LG for their monitors.
But
My TV's TCL.
But
that
they've
is-
recently
It was
sent the
cheap on
phones
Walmart.
out for testing, and within the first 2 days of people folding the phones and unfolding them and using them, the screens are just completely cracking at the folding point. Now, I'm sure it's an easy fix because of how fast advancements are in glass.
I don't think it's
With
an easy
how
fix.
like there's one company, I remember watching a Mythbusters episode on it. There's one company that really like leads the charge behind glass and like upgrades to glass and figuring out how to make it better.
glass is insane.
And like most of our phones at this point, eventually they're going to get to a point where all phones have like the Gorilla Glass on them that are supposed to be more resistant than normal glass.
This is sapphire glass,
And they're
It's supposed to be
safer.
scratch resistant.
Well, because at the same time, the company that makes the Gorilla Glass, they're working on making a windshield out of it. So instead of having the two thick pieces of glass and the adhesive between them, it's supposed to be one thick layer of glass in the Gorilla Glass. And it's supposed to be safer. It's not supposed to shatter as bad when it like gets destroyed, basically. But why? Why do we need flip phones? Like, why are we going back to that? What's the point?
I don't think it's
It's
more of...
because no one wants to hold a big ass screen this big in their pocket. They've tried those phones. Remember those they got like in between a tablet and a phone. They're big
The
as
notes.
shit.
You
note
shouldn't
things.
need a phone that big anyway.
So
though.
now they're gonna make a bigger screen, but it's easier to hold.
You shouldn't need a phone that
I think the
big.
phones now are perfect.
Especially
If
when
it
they,
perfectly
especially
in
when
your hand.
iPhone makes like the extra large version of phones. You don't need
Do
a
you remember
phone
when I got
this
mine?
big. I do.
I don't know. Old people do. Like my grandma kind of does because she's
They can't see.
blind as shit and she can't touch.
But
the
that's why they
buttons.
give you the option to completely increase font size and everything to make it easier to use and
Yeah,
read.
I really don't want to have to do that for my grandma because she doesn't know how to do
You're
that.
gonna make her
insane.
spend an extra $100 on a phone that's an inch bigger.
Yeah, she would. She'd be like, you know, you can change the font size. She'd be like, I don't know how to do that. I'm just gonna get a bigger phone. I was like, okay, whatever. Do
You
you?
go into settings and you find the font size.
Do you? G? I don't care. Have fun with that. And that's what she does. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
I just think it's unnecessary. Like, it's a cool concept that it's not an actual hinge flip phone. Like, it's not the original, like, it's an actual, like, glass
Don't you remember
screen.
how badass you felt doing that shit?
Oh, yeah, just flipping it open.
Hello?
and-
Yes, Mom. I'm
I had
ready
a
to be picked
Razor
up
at
now.
one point, and then Tyler and I got the Rumors when
slide
they
ones?
came out for Sprint.
I had
Those
a
were
Rumor.
so bad, though.
They were
Like
shit
the
phones,
tracks on them, when you, like, slide them up would break so easily.
Oh,
Mine never did.
Mine never broke.
I was like, there were a lot of complaints at the time that people, because like people, you know how you sit here and you flip your phone and you play with it and shit.
I did that.
People-
I literally
people would
slid
sit
that
there
shit
and do
and
that.
like popped it in the air and grab it, slide. Like I could do so. I could just sit
Yeah,
there.
no.
That's how you flex on the people.
Yeah,
Just-
no, the hinges on those phones would break and they'd quit sliding.
I
Like they
never
wouldn't
broke
stay
mine.
slid.
Yeah, mine were always
I
always
broke
fun.
mine because we were at our old football field and it was before a game and we were just throwing of like football back and forth and I went and I fell and I landed on a rock and it like broke the screen.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pretty sure he threw me the ball and I caught it, but I kind of fell onto a rock and it
No
broke the
football's
screen.
worth the technology in your pocket.
Yeah.
That shit.
I don't know
I would
why
have
you had
dropped
your-
that shit. I'm
And
like,
then,
nah.
and then I got a new phone.
Throw better, Ryan!
And then I went to school
I was
and I
second string,
threw my
goddammit.
backpack on the floor and I always put my phone in that outside pocket and it just smacked right on the floor and I was like, oh god no. And I
Hey,
looked
we're
at
gonna
the
start
phone.
this again. Please don't smack the table.
It's not as loud as Josh's fucking voice.
It's better to hear a loud person than a loud fucking thud.
My voice
I
is
love you,
beautiful.
but-
I'll never forget when Apple came out though with the iPhone because I was at Sprint.
I've never cracked an iPhone screen.
Me
I have
either.
never broken a
Neither have I,
screen.
but I've never owned an iPhone, so
When
I hate
Apple
you.
came out, I was at Sprint at the time. My mom was like, we got to switch to AT&T. And my aunt was like, yeah, Ryan, you're just coming on my line, so you're just coming with me. And I just went to AT&T when the first iPhone came out. I'll never forget being there, and I was like, yeah, fucking 3G, Mom. I don't even know what that means. It's 3G, though. And she goes, give me your phone. And I was like, that's my phone. I was like, I want to be cool.
I didn't get a smartphone till the iPhone
4.
Yeah, 4 or 5. I had that Razr.
You were on Sprint.
I had that Razr thing till like freshman year.
You're still
of high school.
You're still on Sprint, aren't you?
Sprint is such a piece of shit.
I hate Sprint.
But
Sprint doesn't bother me in Lubbock, or like if you're going to Dallas, you never lose reception. But if you go like south of Dallas, where like our lake house is, son of a bitch,
like,
there's no fucking reception.
I remember like my first phone was a flip phone because me and my family, we all had the same phone, including my grandmother. It was the same boring gray flip phone. We all had it. My grandmother still has a flip phone. My dad will not upgrade her to a smartphone because she clearly doesn't need one.
That's true.
But
yeah, the day
It's
we,
got
the
speed
day
dial.
we upgraded my dad to a fucking smartphone, my whole family was like, "What have we done?
Well,
What is
I
the
remember,
monster we created?" And now he has a Facebook.
well, like I remember
And it's
when we
bad.
first got legit smartphones. Like my first legit smartphone, like I remember getting upgraded from the flip phone to the BlackBerry, and then I wanted the Motorola Photon. I wanted it so bad, and I ended up getting an HTC. And
I told
loved
you.
I loved HTC. The first 2 HTCs
Oh, no.
I had were so good.
It wasn't HTC, it was the LG.
Yeah, that's why I hate LG. Their phones are pieces of shit. And our washer and dryer were LG, and both of those died at one point. LG's a piece of shit.
He has a point.
But we upgraded from flip phones to Blackberries, and then I got 2 HTCs, and I loved them. The third HT was a huge piece of shit. HTC just fell off for me. Like,
The
it was
Hero?
horrible. And it was like the HTC like 9 or 10. It was just so horrible.
Yeah, once you get to 9 or 10, shit usually hits the fan.
Yeah, it's- well,
almost anything you go to.
I was like,
this is the Samsung S8.
don't listen to him.
And I
Okay, the
love
only thing
Samsung.
that's better about this is the screen. The screen is still a piece of shit, and the cameras. That got a good camera. That's about it.
Well, like, this is the S8 for Samsung. Me and Casey both had these. Casey has the S9 now, and because she was due for an upgrade. And my dad and my other sister have the S10 that has the ability to charge the other person's phone.
Did you try it?
No, I haven't tried it yet. I mean, I don't have a reason to try it because I don't think it's compatible with older phones. It might just be
Is
the
it a
S10.
glass backing?
I don't know.
I think it has a glass backing. It'd probably work.
But Samsung's never treated me wrong so far. Like, I love Samsung. I love this phone, and I cannot wait to upgrade to the next Samsung.
Well, remember I was telling you if I upgrade, I kind of want to get the Fold, only because like I kind of want to sit there and like when I do or just open it up and then close it. Like when I'm sitting there in class,
and
just
then
like
break it while you sit
we,
there.
we all know the real reason he wants that, right?
hey,
Bigger porn.
dude, there's no way. If I watch porn of that, my mom's gonna go watching. Like, what are you doing? Because like, I have to have two fucking hands on that. No, I have to have
Close you fuck.
I have to have
Oh
two.
shit!
God damn it!
I'm so sorry.
I have to have
Listen
two.
that one
My
later.
hands are so tiny. I have tiny hands. They don't call me tiny man for fucking nothing. I have to have 2 hands on that bitch. I can't fucking. Hold on, wait.
Dude, Mom gonna walk in. Dude,
Could you imagine like Ryan sitting with a phone and he's trying to jerk off with his elbows?
Dude, could you imagine if you closed it, the sound didn't go off?
No, it doesn't because it goes
And
back
so-
to the regular screen.
Dude, and like Ryan's watching porn. Oh shit! Shh. What the? No!
Mom,
Get out! No! Go!
I haven't seen
Ryan
the
just starts
phone.
screaming to make the sound.
I've only seen the phone fold one way. Does it fold the other way as well?
No, it's only foldable one.
That would be
That's fucking stupid.
ridiculous.
Because
no, if you can fold it this way or the other way.
No, because it'd be cool
can't.
to fold
The
it the other
prototypes.
way because
Oh.
then you could easily just use one.
Well, the
screen.
prototypes that they have.
No, you can't. I watched a video on it. There's 2 different types. There's one where the screen's like it folds out and the screen's like this, and there's another one where you fold it the other way and one side becomes the screen and you
See,
fold it
I would
this
rather
way.
instead of having it fold this way, I would rather be able to either see one big screen or just one.
Well,
screen
that guy
at a
that I
time.
told you about. Hold on, I gotta shout out Unbox Therapy real quick. Anyways, the guy that does Unbox Therapy, the phone that he had, it only went one way.
Well, there's multiple different prototypes. One of them folds both ways, like the hinges.
Oh.
Like you can
I
fold
don't
it
know.
backwards, where the front and back are a screen. Whatever you flip,
I've
to,
only
it's
seen
gonna
him
show
just
your
do it the
home
one way.
screen. And then one of them is just where you close it this way.
See,
Seems
See,
pointless to me.
I think it's better to fold and be able to use one side of the screen instead of having to use both, and then you can fold it. I don't know, because I don't see myself unfolding my phone and using the whole giant screen because I like to be able to hold it in just one hand. So I would want to fold it back and then just hold
Yeah,
my
could you
phone like a
imagine sitting
normal
there
person.
unfolding your phone, just being like,
taking a shit like that would be. You're like reading a book on the toilet.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wonder. Wait, how big is your phone right
That's
now?
gonna
Would
be
it be like this fucking big? Like if you unfolded it, would it just be like?
yeah, it's huge. It's exactly like that.
Shit, just god damn it.
I mean, it's a cool concept, but at the same time, it's almost too bulky. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it
care
is to
for
me.
it.
I don't know.
I don't know. It seems dumb.
Like, but if I were to do an upgrade, honestly, I would switch to the Razer.
They do it right. It's gonna be cool.
See, I want a Windows phone so bad. The Windows phones I don't think have overall like fantastic over the top reviews, but I just love the concept of the Windows phone, how it connects to everything Windows 10 related. You can do anything on there that you can do on the phone.
Yeah.
And that just appeals to me in so many ways. I love that.
I don't know. If I were to upgrade and,
cool.
and
It's-
leave Apple, it would have to be the Razer phone.
Well, because like even after we all got our new computers, even with Samsung, there was an option to connect my phone to it, and Windows 10 took over my phone on Samsung. So now, like, whatever's on my computer, it's kind of set up similar to, like, my phone in a way, where, like, Microsoft runs it. I can talk to Cortana, even though I don't, because Bixby's better. Like,
bitch.
it's cool, but I want one of the Windows phones, so either that or the Google Pixel.
I've only heard mixed reviews of the Google Pixel, though.
Well, I know that, like, when Eminem dropped his last album, Kamikaze, he did a skit for Jimmy Kimmel where he performed the song Venom from the Empire State Building, and the entire video for Jimmy Kimmel's show was shot using the Google Pixel. There was no other camera on set, and it looked phenomenal. Like, it looked so good.
That's
But
fucking cool. He sung the song from. How come I have not seen that video?
yeah, he starts at the bottom and he's like rapping through the building as he goes to the top, and there's like an awkward scene where like the elevator attendant standing there, and Eminem's like mic dies. He's like, oh, I need to go to the top floor. He's like, okay, Mr. Eminem's, step inside.
Step inside.
And he like gets in there, and Eminem's just like, you know, this building only took like so many days to build, right? And he's like telling the elevator attendant facts on the Empire State Building.
Dude, Eminem is hilarious.
He's so awkwardly funny, and like when he goes to leave, the attendant gives him another microphone, and then he raps to the top of the building, and there's like helicopters, and they've synced the lights on the building to match the rhythm of the song. So he raps the entire
fucking
song from the
cool.
top of the building. It's cool.
Dude, it's surprising how, like, you know how some people who get big off something else that want to go into acting usually aren't good at acting? Eminem's good at acting. And he's good at rapping.
He's been in a few things.
Did he get an Oscar for 8 Mile?
Yeah, he won an Oscar for
Yeah.
8 Mile, which is cool. But he didn't go into acting like 50 Cent like Ice Cube did.
Yeah.
He dropped one movie about his life. He made a cameo in The Interview. And,
That shit was the funniest fucking thing.
Eminem just said he's gay on our show.
Oh, yeah.
Hector,
What the fuck?
Hector and his anus are real.
So Hector and his rectum are real.
I fucking love the
I love
interview,
James
man.
Franco, dude. That movie's great. That movie's just so fucking stupid. It's funny.
not great. It's a terrible
I
movie.
wouldn't say it's great,
Dude,
but
it's
it's
a
good
great,
at least.
It's a great stupid movie.
Yeah, it's like, have you ever seen Pineapple Express?
No.
He watched
Good
it over here
movie.
one time, and I was like, I'm not gonna watch that with you. I love James Franco. I think I tried to watch it by myself one time, and I got to the part where he kicks his foot to the thing. I nearly shit my pants laughing so hard, and then after that, I was like, I think I have to be high for the rest of this.
No, dude,
You
that was
should
the
be high
best
to
part of
watch
the
Pineapple
movie.
Express.
Fucking love Pineapple Express.
I just wanted to get
No,
the part where they kick the fucking thing. It's like his foot
If,
goes
if
through.
I had to put The Interview on a scale, I mean, the worst movie I have ever seen is Sausage Party.
I was gonna say,
It's on
don't
the top
you
of the
say
list.
Sausage Party.
Sausage Party is the worst movie
Why?
ever.
You
So
can't.
good.
It's a terrible
You
movie.
You cannot. What's it?
Don't
what
don't
the
get
fuck's
me wrong.
the move? What's
Don't get me
what's the
wrong.
word?
It has its moments and it's
Hold on.
funny.
What's
But
the
if you're
word?
looking at it as an actual movie, it is the worst movie ever.
Yeah, but you have to
fuck?
go
I
in there
can't
just
think of
going
the
and
word.
laughing. That's all.
Until the food has an orgy at the fucking
That's
end.
the best fucking part.
The worst part.
It's so bad. When you first watch it, you're like, what is going on?
I remember
Hot
we
dog, fucking
walked out
a
of
bagel,
theaters.
fucking a fucking.
We
like,
walked
what's it
out of
called?
the theater and we were like, I'm so glad the girls we invited to see this with us did not show up. This is awkward as fuck.
Well, didn't Joe roll up with this girl?
Joe rolled up with his girlfriend and said hi to all of us, and I was like, okay.
Dude, that movie is so. Do you rate movies with the same thing every single movie you see?
No, I wouldn't put Talladega Nights in the same category as La La Land. You can't compare the two. But even in terms of comedy, Sausage Party is by far the worst movie I've ever seen. You should see it probably once, never watch it again.
Oh,
It's not
dude,
worth
I
fucking
have
watch.
that bitch on Blu-ray.
Dude, I've watched the movie like 3 or 4 times. It's great.
I've seen the movie twice.
I remember one time I had a bunch of friends in my dorm room, and I was like, I had my laptop, and I was like, what do you guys want to watch? I was scrolling through Netflix, so like, is this Sausage Party? And it was like, dudes and girls, and they were just like, Let's watch Sausage Party. I was like,
No.
I love y'all. Let's fucking watch
I've
this
seen
thing.
it twice. Once in theaters, and the second time I was high as fuck when I saw it.
Yes,
and
yes,
it's funny.
you were.
It's funny when you're stoned. Like it's hilarious.
I wanna
but
see
at
high.
at the end, stoned or sober, I'm just like, this is a terrible movie.
Dude, it's so fucking funny.
It's terrible.
I
though.
loved it.
It's
I don't
supposed
know,
to
I
be.
liked
If
it.
you go in there being like, "This is a terrible movie," I know it's
You know
a terrible
what?
movie.
I will not deny
but
that it's
it's
funny. No,
funny.
I will not deny that it's funny, but you can't say it's a good movie. You can't. You cannot say it's a good movie.
It's a good, funny movie.
No,
It's a good movie in
No.
the terms of being dumb.
I'm not gonna agree with
It's
either
not.
of you
It's,
on
it's,
that.
not, it's not in the
agree.
same category as Talladega Nights or any of those movies because those are just great, rewatchable. I could watch Talladega Nights 4 times in a row. I'm still gonna laugh at if you don't chew Big Red. Well, fuck you. Or I wake up in the morning and I piss excellence. Like, are you kidding me? Like, help me, Jewish God! Help me, Tom Cruise! He's just running around like he's on fire. It's a great movie. It's so
I will never
fucking
have anything
dumb
good to say
and
about
amazing.
Sausage Party ever. Terrible movie.
Plus, it's made by Seth Rogen, and you know
I
it's gonna
love
be
Seth
dumb. I
Rogen, but
love
that
Seth
movie
Rogen.
went too far. Just too far.
I love it
too
because
far.
That movie went
The
too
interview-
far to you.
I love the
Are you?
interview
I
for
have yet to
Sausage
see
Party.
a movie that goes too far.
And Seth Rogen, he goes, you want to know what grade I was when I made Sausage Party on script?
I bet he was on acid.
And they
when
were
he
like,
fucking did it.
no, he was only in the 10th grade.
I bet he was on LSD or something.
And they were like, you're only in the 10th grade when you. I was like, yeah, dude, I made
you realize there's so many racial
super bad when I
racial-
was in like the 9th grade,
Dude,
and I
you
was
know-
like,
you know how
it's
many
a fucking genius.
You know how many racial innuendos are in Sausage Party?
A lot.
It's the funniest fucking thing because if you and then the fucking fruits
That
are
taco.
all gay. It is the funniest and the tacos of.
Go Mexican.
That shit's so the
I was like, say it, they're Mexican.
Dude, the tequila and the douche is an actual douche. That shit's so fucking funny.
You know you want to quote it.
Nope.
Wait, what?
You know you want to.
Which quote?
Bro,
Yeah, dude, are you kidding me?
I'm heated, dog.
Dude, that shit's fucking great. And he like breaks the tequila and he's like, I'm a douche dog. And he fucking, it's so fucking stupid.
I mean, don't
It's
remember, the
funny.
douche was my inspiration for screaming at Tyler like that, but
Dude, that shit's so fun. I remember my dad watch it and he was like, I think I should be like stoned even more watching
yeah,
this. And I
you
was
should.
like,
The movie.
my dad watched it with me and he at the end he was like, what the fuck
if
is
you were
going
to-
on? I'm like,
if you
that's a
smoke
giant food
full
orgy.
joint before you see the movie. It's fucking hilarious.
Well, you've seen.
My dad enjoyed it because of all the racial innuendos.
I'll never forget because
He
my
thought that
mom
was
was
funny.
like, I'll never forget when Sausage Party came out. She goes, I'm not watching that with you. And I was like, why not? We've seen Knocked Up together. She goes, exactly. That movie took it too far. And I was like,
Oh no, Knocked
you're
Up,
right.
Knocked Up. I love Knocked Up. I love all the actors
Well, I was
in
so.
Knocked Up.
I'll never forget because my mom and I went to the theaters to go watch Knocked Up, and the
Knocked Up in theaters. My God.
my mom had no shame, bro. My mom watched. She watched it and she showed the ticket lady and she goes,
I think the worst
is it gonna
movie-
be suitable for him? She goes. He's
my
not
child.
he's not a little bitch, and I was like, yeah, ma, you tell her I ain't no little bitch.
Dude, I think the
Yeah.
worst movie me and my brother saw that my dad didn't want us to see was we found the old Rick James tape.
That shit's
Because
so
we
funny.
heard my dad laughing at it one night. We're like, what's he watching? My dad was like, y'all can't watch this. Go play. And we were like, me and our brother were like, what's he laughing at? We want to laugh at it too. We want to watch it.
Yeah, my
and
mom-
so my dad went to sleep and he didn't take the tape out of the VCR. It was back when fucking like VCRs were a thing. And me and our brother just walked in there and just
Sat there for 3 minutes
No.
rewinding, like,
Yeah, we had to do. We took it out, and went to our room. There was a VCR in the living room, so we went to the living room and rewind it there and watched it. My dad woke up and we started quoting Rick James to him. And like my dad woke up, and
Rick James, bitch.
dude, that's the first thing we said to my dad, and my dad was just like, "Y'all little sneaky bastards." He's like, I don't know whether to punish y'all or be proud. I think he was mad for a little bit, but he's like, could you imagine 2 little 6-year-old, 7-year-old boys being like, "Rick James, bitch," and like, and my dad was just like. And I'm pretty sure we said, fuck y'all, Calvin. And they started, like, stopping it. My dad was just like, what is going on?
It's only funny because when I
And
was
then we watched it with him later on. We got older, and it was great.
so when I was younger, I watched The Godfather with my grandpa, and so after that point, my mom was like, "Well, fuck it. He's already seen people kill each other. Say fuck and have sex. Might as well take him whatever." At this point, I was younger, and I'll never forget. She walked in on the sex scene, and I'm like, I was like this, like,
I cannot
they are
stress
getting it on.
enough.
And you still thought
Everyone
you peed a
needs
girl.
to see The Godfather as a classic. It
love-
needs to be fucking watched.
I'm
And
annoyed
Scarface.
because I didn't see it till, like, last year. Was it last year? Last
Last
It was
winter.
summer.
Yeah, whatever. You were
Last
still living
summer?
at the other house.
Yeah, it was the summertime.
Before
SoundCloud
before
died.
after you die.
1, 2,
Right.
3, go.
3. Gracias.
Gracias.
Nada.
So the PS5. Stop telling me to die.
That was like we're recording.
That was like the last podcast when we were like, in case we hope to have you back, and Josh said, don't fucking come back.
And she never came back, as you can
Now
see.
she ain't here.
Oh, God.
I scare away everyone.
But the PS5.
I was gonna say something, but I just kept my mouth shut.
Consoles.
Speak, boy.
Nope. We're
I
good.
don't think consoles will ever die, no
think they will.
matter how unimportant they become. Because there's a market in consoles for people who don't want to go to PC gaming. Like,
Which they need to.
For instance, I for the longest time was against PC gaming. I thought PC gamers were prudes. I thought they were fucking assholes. They're like, we're the master race. We're better. Go fuck yourself. I can play most of your games on my console. Eat a dick. I've transitioned to where I'm kind of like, okay, consoles are pieces of shit. PC's better. My sister, on the other hand, I keep telling her, I'm like, get a PC. You can come play any game you want with us. Just get a PC. And she's like, I can't do PC gaming. I just don't know the controls. It's not for me. And I'm like, you can.
If I can learn the fucking controls.
Well, I try to tell her,
Even I'm a
most
fucking
games
retard.
allow you to sync your controller to your computer. So even if you don't like mouse and keyboard, you can use your controller 90% of the time.
I have purposely not done that because I don't want you guys to call me bitch.
No, I've done it once to try it because I wanted to play Smite and Rocket League, and it was the weirdest thing ever. I was like, I don't like this controller anymore. Oh, God. This is weird.
Give me back my Laz.
How do you think
Hey, dude, when we play Mortal Kombat, we're gonna be like, oh my god, we're gonna like hold upside down. But these are
How do you
weird.
play with this thing?
We're gonna be pressing the buttons like
It's like backwards, upside down, like,
Well,
fuck.
I know. I usually go back to my Xbox just to play Battlefield 4.
go
Gross.
fuck yourself.
Gross.
I don't think I've turned. I don't
The
think
whole group was like,
I
ugh.
don't think I've turned on either.
I like
of those in,
Battlefield.
forever. I need to put the
Battlefield's
Xbox
a dying
over
franchise
here
like Call of Duty, though.
I need to buy fucking Mortal Kombat for us.
I mean, Battlefield's not necessarily on the biggest decline like Call of Duty is, because Call of Duty needs to stop. Like, they need to take a year or two off and really rethink
No,
their shit.
they need to stop with just Call of Duty in
They need
general.
to
Because after
stop
they made that
because
fucking space shit, I was like,
That
I'm
fucking
done.
the microtransactions in that game. It cost $30 to buy a hammer at one point in that game.
The fuck?
That's
dumb.
fucking stupid.
I'm not even in the new. In Black Ops 4, they released a cosmetic, like just a fucking melee weapon, a hammer that had like jets in the back. Didn't give you a bigger range or anything, but it cost $30.
Oh, but say, I have no room
to
to
buy
talk
it cost $30. You could buy it or get it out of a chest.
because in CS:GO we have skins
And
that
so
cost
many,
like 2,000
and so many
plus.
people got pissed that they what's it called? They made it $8 and then didn't refund the people who bought it.
That sounds like those people's problems. Why would you spend $30 on a cosmetic item at that point?
Well,
That's your
YouTubers
dumbass
did
fault.
because they had to make content, which sucked for them. They're like, "Fuck, I don't want to buy
That's-
this stupid."
that's-
fucking
Okay, so you
thing."
spent
Anybody
$30 and made $2,000.
Yeah,
off
no,
the
that's
content,
nothing
right?
to a YouTuber at that point.
Well,
I don't
YouTube
think they
used to
make that
be-
much. I don't think they make that much anymore.
Yet still people are becoming YouTubers like us. We're trying to, even though they don't make shit.
We're also trying to get on stream.
I think you probably make more money on Twitch now than you do on YouTube.
Probably, if you can get a big enough following, yeah. But
Streaming is so much fun. I love that. That shit's so much fun.
no details have been released on Xbox's Project Scarlet yet. But the lead designer behind the PS5 has talked about what the specs are going to be. And right now he talked that the CPU will be a third generation AMD Ryzen graphics card.
It's gonna be good.
Which is phenomenal. Because, I mean, you're talking about, like, PC level graphics cards at that point.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
It's like
You're
in
just
the
getting-
video that you have in there, but it's like mine, the NVIDIA 1060.
Yeah, they're
the
basically
NVIDIA
taking
1060.
computer graphics
What
cards
is it?
out and they're putting them in a...
What
it's
is
a
it?
AM
Ryzen 550?
I didn't get the actual number. It just says third generation AMD.
They probably don't.
So it's a Ryzen 550 if it's third generation.
I don't necessarily know what 3D audio is, but
God,
apparently
we're
the
speaking another language
but
right
apparently
now.
the PS5 supports 3D audio for better surround sound, better hearing, better like immersion into the game. They also said, and this is actually a cool concept that should have been there from the beginning. The PS5 is going to have an SSD, a solid state drive, which means certain processes within games, loading and like loading screens and fast traveling, will take less time. And they compared it to like in the new Spider-Man game that came out. On the PS4, it takes 15 seconds when you fast travel for the load screen to complete the load and for you to be in the next area. The PS5, based on the SSD, it takes 0.8 seconds for the load screen to just click you to the next area.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Like it's like 10 times faster loading time. Like it's crazy.
I think that's over 10 times faster. That's nuts.
That should have been there to begin with, because sometimes loading screens are the worst part of a game. Because you sit there, you're like, you've been loading for 3 years now. Please hurry.
like
I
Skyrim.
know you have. We've played Anthem. Yeah, they're awful.
Yeah, loading screen. And then 9 times out of 10, a game crashes on a loading screen.
Well, it's not even like it's like not even our computer's fault that the loading screen takes that long. It's just the server at that point.
I don't think I've ever been so pissed at a game.
Anthem.
Fucking broke his heart.
I told him the other day, I was like, dude, we should probably play Anthem again. Tyler was like, I don't want to play that piece of shit ever again. I was like, well, we should check it out when DLC comes out. I was like, I might check it out when DLC comes out. He was pissed.
Dude,
I still want to play Overwatch.
fucking piss me off.
Also, and this is the part that kind of throws me off because I know I've said this before, it supports 8K graphics. We don't have 8K.
We barely got 5K.
Yeah,
I don't. Like, if 8K isn't a thing right now, then how do they know it can support it?
I don't know, especially if
they have
I think that's
8K.
probably a
but
claim.
even if this isn't, this is a 3rd generation AMD. This graphics card is probably not more powerful than Tyler's over there. How the fuck is it gonna run 8K graphics?
Yeah, I have a great graphics card, and I have no clue what the fuck it does.
A beautiful 2080, and Tyler's like, cool.
Yeah, the girl who told me about it, she was hot, so I just kind of was just like, I'm gonna pretend I know what you're talking about.
She's too smart for him.
Dude, she was a redhead.
I don't know, all I need
she
is
was
just-
a redhead like nerd, and I was like, oh my god, keep talking to
Yeah.
me.
Once Tyler sees a redhead, he
I was like,
got a hard on for days.
I was just like, what computer should I get? And she was like, I can recommend you all. She just started talking. I was just like,
And
Listen to all these.
It's one of those where in Tyler's head, she's slowly unbuttoning while she's like, yeah, so this graphics card. She's slowly getting naked.
how much RAM does it have?
Ma'am, you have a massive RAM.
I told Tyler, I
She
said, Tyler,
did
you
that.
should probably get another stick of DDR4. He goes, I don't even know what that is.
Sold. Put it in the cart.
Dude, that shit was. I think I have 16 gigabytes of RAM.
No, you only have 8.
No,
What I
16.
do,
So
what
is
I,
this the 16?
I think it's
mine's a
16.
16.
What the fuck? Oh, I only have a 1060, so I have no room to
Oh man, I have a
Pussy
1070.
boy, I'm just kidding.
But mine's 16 gigs of RAM.
I have a
64 operating system.
MacBook Pro. I
But the
spilled
screen
stuff.
doesn't work.
I put stuff all over the keyboard, so now I have to plug in a keyboard.
It's come, ladies.
My monitor is very funky. I have to leave it on all day, every day, to make sure it doesn't black out.
Yeah, he turned it off one time, and I don't think
It didn't turn back on for
No,
like half
I
a
remember
week.
when I said, Josh, restart your computer. Oh, fuck, I turned it
He
off.
had to go to Bryce's house. They had to unscrew the back, pop out the battery, and try to reset the fucking computer.
Yep. So now I'm not allowed to turn off my MacBook at all. It stuck with me for 6 years though.
What happens when you go to school?
I write on a notebook.
I know, but I have classes that require you to like take a laptop because there's like questions in like learning catalytics.
Do them
shit
on
that-
my phone.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind.
One thing that
Can you
I
edit that part out? Because I made myself sound like a total retard.
one of the things that I 110% support, and I was actually pissed when Xbox One didn't originally do it. The PS5 will be backwards compatible with PS4 games. They've already stated we have no plans to get rid of backwards compatibility, which is great for people who don't want to rebuy their games. But on that note, what about the people who digitally bought the games? Because remember
Re-download
that
them.
no,
They're probably going to be in the marketplace, aren't they?
there was remember we had to rebuy Minecraft on the Xbox. We had bought it digitally on the 360.
Yeah, 'cause they got new
but
servers for it.
Yeah, you couldn't like upgrade and just download Minecraft on the one. You had to completely buy the game.
That's what I hate. That's what I hated about the one when I got it on like day one edition.
What
was
if you
because
saved
Christian.
it on an external hard drive?
It's a 360.
Yeah.
Ryan's right. When they upgraded it, the Minecraft servers also had to be upgraded. So the old version of the game was completely
That's why,
obsolete.
like,
at that point.
when I got the Xbox on day one, and you also had the 360, I couldn't play with anybody because it was the new server, and Xbox was just fucking retarded. Was like,
He was a dickhead for like a week, so I don't want to hear it.
I was.
Sorry guys, can't hear you all the way on my one.
Such
Actually,
a
no.
prick.
No, the thing that I was most upset about when he got his Xbox One was his grandmother went out that night to the release. Ryan didn't even go.
Yeah, I was
his grandmother went out and got it and brought it home to him. I was like, you asshole.
Well, like, she didn't, because all I asked for my birthday was an Xbox One, and she goes, "Oh, we don't got enough money for that." Fucking the next morning, Xbox One, I was like,
You lied to me.
You're
I was
like,
like, cool.
right, Jesus?
And then, like, oh my god, I'll never forget that day either.
I remember I scared the fuck out of Ryan. That was great.
But they also stated that the PS5 has no plans to move to completely digital downloads, which they should, because discs fucking suck at this point.
yeah, how many?
I haven't bought a disc in
couldn't
forever.
even run a disc.
No,
at one
my
point.
Xbox One refuses to read discs. Like, I have to put it in, and if it doesn't read, I gotta take it out, turn the disc slightly, and put it back in, and I wait for the boot up noise on my Xbox, and once I hear the I'm like, alright, I read the disc, cool
It's
beans.
only funny because mine started to do that too.
Yeah, the fucking disc disc reader went
I just
out.
started buying everything digitally. I was like, fuck it. I have a.
Well, because-
I had an external hard drive though, because I have a terabyte. I have 2 terabytes worth of stuff for Xbox.
Well, he had the day one edition. I didn't have the day one edition. I had the edition that was like a month or 2 older, and I still have that Xbox, and I know it's dying. I know it's going to die at some point because it doesn't sound healthy
I'm
anymore.
pretty sure it's an Xbox One X over there.
But
Pretty sure it is.
they also stated that future games will release on both consoles. So just because the PS5 is coming out does not mean
PS4
new games
still?
after that. New games after that will still, some of them will still release on the PS4.
Could you imagine if they re-released the new God of War on PS5?
They don't need to. They just need to make a new God of War. Oh my god, the next God of War game is gonna be so fucking good, hands
I
down.
want to play the old one so bad.
Dude, the one on PS4 was the greatest game I had played until I played like Horizon Zero Dawn. Then Horizon Zero Dawn was the greatest game I ever played, and then Red Dead came out. I was like, fuck!
We didn't hear from you for like a week. What's its
I
tits
did.
came out? When
I
God
watched
of
every video.
Dude, when God of War came out, we legitimately didn't hear from you for like a week and a half. That game took forever for you to finish. That shit looked so
You play
cool, though. I was like, I really want to.
There was a boss fight in that game fighting one of the guardians of like Asgard or some shit that every time I went up for the fight, she killed me in 2 hits. I was like, how the fuck do I beat this
Wasn't
bitch?
it the what the fuck are they called?
It's they're guardians with the wings and shit. They protect over certain. There's like
Valkyrie.
8 of the Valkyries. There's like 8 of them you have to kill, and literally
Then the Queen Valkyrie's a
the
bitch.
Queen Valkyrie was the hardest bitch because she had all the powers of the other ones to use against
That's
you.
fucking retarded. That's like some Pokemon shit that they just use the goddamn elixirs.
Well, and then they did the thing where they didn't release any DLC, but they released a reset version of the game where you could play the game on a harder difficulty where it gave you better loot. So you could replay it and make Kratos and his son better. And I was like, I want to play that, but this game gave me a headache. It's like, it's so good, but it hurts.
I think they released some kind of. Cause I watched videos over it because I think I was doing something else. I was like, I don't want to buy the game and play it. I'm just gonna watch gameplay of it because I don't know.
That
why.
pissed me off so much. Tyler's like, have you seen the ending of God of War? He's like, I watched it on YouTube. I was like, play the fucking game. You have a PlayStation.
I think I was busy doing
What
something.
did you even play on the PlayStation?
Smite.
Yeah, I played with him.
That was it. He played it with me and Joe. That was it. He didn't play anything else on his PS4. He bought Call of Duty on the PS4.
That's because Joe was being a prick and said he was better than me. And then I destroyed him in a 1v1. Never played it again. Just to prove a point. Fuck Joe.
I wish I could just throw
Don't
money
challenge
like
me
that
to
on the
fucking
fucking
quick scopes in a fucking game. You're gonna get ass fucked. Especially in that
That's
game.
a lie. That's a bet.
I'll whip your
Yeah,
ass.
that's a bet.
Not World War II. Not that
Call
Call
of World
of
War
Duty.
II shit.
Yeah.
Dude, the sniping
Christian.
in that game is the only good thing in that game. The sniping
Oh,
in
I
that
have
was
Xbox
beautiful.
Live. Let's fucking beat this bitch on Black Ops 4.
I was like, any Call of Duty before World War II, then
I don't like
he's
Black Ops
toast.
4. Black Ops 4 is...
Can't we get
what?
mad?
The fuck are you talking about?
Whip your ass in any quick scope, motherfucker.
No, you fucking won't. The
Yes, I
only thing
will.
you would kick
I
my
would.
ass in was Black Ops 2 knifing, you fucking cunt muffin
Yeah,
bitch.
Christian.
I cannot tell you how many times me and Ryan would literally 2v1 you and Christian would fucking win.
So last
Fucking bastard.
but
I'm a
not
goblin.
least, we are going to talk
I'm a
about
loot goblin.
the Mueller Report, or Mueller, however you want to pronounce it.
Fucking angry. We haven't even played games today.
Mueller.
So for
I'm
people
sorry.
like,
Enlighten me.
so
I
for,
don't know what this
yeah,
is.
So for people like Tyler and Ryan who don't necessarily know what the Mueller Report is,
And what the fuck? Don't
he knows.
exclude him.
No, he partially knows what it is. He knows what I'm talking about.
Did he read it?
Didn't have to read the whole thing.
No, because he knew I was going to do my research. So the
I know where I stand,
The
boy.
report has been going on for upwards of a year now, and it's basically Mueller has been trying to prove that Trump had assistance from Russia and they conspired to fuck up the 2016 election, and they're trying to impeach him. They're trying to find reasons to get him. I don't know if he's corrupt.
Well, he has
he's
one more
clearly an
fucking
idiot.
year. Just let him finish it out.
He could have 4 more. Do not doubt the stupid people in this country. Trump is not necessarily evil, but he is a fucking idiot. Hands down, he's an idiot.
He's an idiot.
Preach, sis.
He
But
makes
the-
me believe I can run for president.
But
you
the
can't.
Mueller report, it's 448 pages long. Which they
And I read every single one of them.
No, you didn't.
You read the thought and you quit.
Low-key. We turned it on. I opened it last night when he was doing his research. I was like, Christian, I found the full thing. And I started scrolling. I was like, Christian, I'm not going to read any of this.
and I straight up told him, like, you don't have to. I'm just going to do the key points and we'll just talk
He
about
stopped at the M on Mueller.
The point of me bringing this up is we're not going to go into extreme detail. I'm going to talk about the specific points and clearly, hopefully, have an unbiased opinion in this group, although he's a liberal. So,
Jesus. Fucking just dropped the elephant in the room.
you know how many times we've called him a liberal on
It's
this
like
already?
threw him underneath the semi truck, Christian.
Hey, sometimes people could be new, goddammit.
He's an open-minded liberal, though. That's what I like about
you're
Josh.
right.
I try
He
to be an
identifies in that
open-minded
category, but he's not biased towards one thing. Like, he's open-minded to listen and share an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So,
See, I try to be as open-minded as possible. It's just
well,
sometimes it's
when
hard.
talking about politics, you have to, because if you're not, all it does is end in an argument, and your side's wrong, the other side's wrong. It doesn't matter.
I think if you don't,
If you're not
get in an
open-minded,
argument-
it's literally just yelling.
Yeah.
My
You
side's
get
right.
there is no progress made if you're not willing to listen to someone else.
Well, the thing is,
My side's right.
If I try to have a conversation, I'm not trying to change their mind because nine
Yeah,
times
you
out of 10,
can't
you
change
cannot
people's mind.
say anything to change someone's mind.
Especially me.
yeah, especially Christian. Christian's the hardest person to budge.
Fucking stubborn asshole.
I mean, I'm a stubborn
Pretty
asshole.
much. He's like the.
So,
He'll make a good president.
before I get into this, these are reports taken from websites like CNN and BBC.
Fake news.
I
That's how to do it. That's actually he said saying it. Fake news.
So from
Can
my
I get a running start and just jump over the table and just double?
You know
kick
what's
it
gonna
right in
happen.
fucking
Let the
chest?
man speak, Ryan. Jesus.
so from my understanding, they have gathered that 10 actions were performed by the Trump administration. Not necessarily, clearly you'd probably have to actually read the report to understand it. I'm not going to do that. 448 pages. I don't like reading. Fuck that shit.
they got some smart
but-
people up there in Congress that can read the whole thing. That's
Or
fine.
there's news outlets who will read it for us.
exactly. That's,
But they have basically found evidence that Trump's campaign administration did not specifically conspire with Russia. Like, there was no, okay, you do this for us and you help us win the
So there's
election.
no hard evidence of him conspiring with Russia.
There's not.
Conspiring
but
with Russia.
there is evidence the Trump campaign knew about Russian spies trying to get into Hillary's private shit, trying to influence the election, because Russia knew in the long run they would benefit more from Trump being in office than Hillary.
I think the world's benefited a little bit from America becoming a retard.
So on top of that, it kind of runs along the lines of the Trump administration knew what Russia was doing, and they knew they'd benefit from it as well, but they didn't ask for help. They sat by and watched Russia do the shit, and then as Russia leaked information, they used it to their advantage. So they can't pin the Trump administration for conspiring with Russia because there was no formal agreement.
They just gotta stop it. They didn't stop it.
Yeah, no. But both sides knew what was going on, and they let it play out because both sides would equally benefit from it. So they can't really pin Trump on a conspiracy of collusion and
So
whatnot.
is Russia fucking with both candidates?
No. Russia
They're
was
just fucking with Hillary.
They were just fucking with Hillary because they knew that if Trump won, it would better their situation and their standing.
Mm-hmm.
So, in a way, Russia did kind of help Trump, but there was no actual agreement.
there was
to help
no
each other.
handshake.
Exactly.
In a
It
way-
was one of
in
those
a
we
way-
see your spy doing dirty shit, and because it will benefit us, we're gonna let him do his dirty shit.
I'm conflicted right now. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. If that makes the Trump administration smart or just kind of
It makes them smart from a
that's kind of
standpoint of
genius.
trying to win.
It's like
because
chess.
they know that their enemies are working to help them win, and they can get away with letting the enemies do what they want without getting in trouble.
Isn't the enemy of my enemy my friend? There's a saying
Yes.
like that.
Yeah. That's
what it
Is that
is.
the saying? Or am I just okay? Cool. I didn't want to sound
Because
dumb as shit.
Trump at one point in time was quoted as telling his aides in the White House to find Hillary's emails.
There's AIDS in the White House.
Yeah.
God.
I will kick you out of this room. I don't give a shit if it's your house.
You won't.
You child.
Wow, grow up, Tyler. God.
So
We're trying to sound like adults right now on top of
AIDS
politics, okay?
AIDS is not funny. It's a really serious problem.
Go fuck yourself.
It's not funny, dude.
Oh my god.
We have an asshole in the room.
Yeah,
So-
he died because of that shit.
So Trump
People died, Tyler.
Trump actually did not receive help from many of the aides in the White House. And it's because he was telling them, he was telling people close to him, you need to go fire this person. You need to go fire this person. Find Hillary's emails. They told him no. They wouldn't do it, and it helped him. Because it goes along the lines of obstruction of justice. because they tried to get Trump on charges of obstructing the Mueller in the Russia probe. They tried to get him on charges of completely disrupting the whole investigation. But one of the things it comes down to is the Department of Justice does not... they're actually prohibited from indicting the current sitting president.
Which mean wait.
They can't,
Which
like...
mean indicting?
No, the word was indictment. Like,
I think it's indictment.
There was indictment on the CNN report, but basically the Department of Justice cannot just throw him under the bus for obstruction of justice. They don't have the authority to do that. They can't do it. It's not in the rules. So basically they can't get him on obstruction of justice charges. They can't get him on collusion of working with Russia, even though there were times where like a Russian lawyer and like Trump's like son-in-law and two of his lawyers met from time to time.
But it's not Trump.
Yeah, it's not
him.
Trump. It's
you can't.
Indictment.
Yeah, it's pronounced indictment.
Okay, well, yeah, that's the exact word. I pronounced it wrong. Basically,
I only know
one
that because
of
AT&T's a lawyer. So.
the biggest things that happened was William P. Barr is the what is he? He's like the attorney general or some shit.
Yeah.
William P. Barr, attorney general. He is basically the lawyer for the country.
Yeah.
Like, he does everything for Washington. He handles all political business.
That's cool.
He came out and defended Trump. He
Because there's no real charge.
Exactly.
I mean-
But people are demanding for William P. Barr to resign now because he not only... Trump got a hold...
It's considered like... Isn't it considered like collusion or something like that?
Basically, they're saying you can't defend the country and you can't defend Trump when
Yeah.
Trump's against the country. So people are demanding that he resign because he took Trump's side and not the country's side. Which is... It's fucked up in its own way.
He didn't do anything
He's
wrong.
doing his job.
No,
and
let me tell you what he did wrong.
Who? Trump or the...
The Attorney General.
Attorney General.
I was talking about Trump. He's only defending him because he didn't technically do anything wrong.
But he is dirty in a certain manner.
it's
He's dirty in a
difficult.
certain way. Not specifically collusion or conspiracy with the enemy, but he's dirty on different fronts.
He let it happen.
Well, because this investigation opened up 14 more smaller investigations for them to look at.
Well, it's not criminal to not do anything about something.
But I think you're kind of getting along the lines of... Because, I mean, they're trying to get Trump on treason for working with Russia. They want Trump out of office no matter what. But...
It's not going to happen.
The thing that William P. Barr did, he gave Trump the redacted report a week before its public release, and then he also wrote a 4-page letter basically shining a light on Trump and making him look less bad. Because then when the report was leaked, clearly there's some shit that when Barr wrote his letter, he left certain things out. And one of the biggest things was... the redacted version released by Barr, it shines a soft light on Trump. Basically, Mueller states that the Trump campaign knew of Russia trying to alter it and stood by and profited from it. In Barr's actual letter released to the public and whatnot, it states that there was no evidence of collusion. People need to back off Trump. There's nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. And then the Mueller report comes out and it actually shows previous statements made by the people performing the investigation that, no, there's evidence here, but there's not enough sufficient evidence to actually pin it against the man. So Barr is in trouble for shining a very soft light on the situation and making Trump look like a better person than he actually
super
is.
interesting to go ask about this? My aunt and uncle.
I don't know how that helps us right now.
No, like later on, if you want to know like more about it, because I actually said her name earlier. Can you bleep that out?
They're both lawyers, right?
Yeah, and they work for the federal government.
Yeah.
So like
I'm sure they know more about this
Oh,
than any of us do.
both of them would just... I bet they could tell us shit that you'd be like, oh, what? What's going on here? Because they understand everything about it, and they're like... Their jobs, like one's an attorney and one's what's the other one called?
Prosecutor?
Yeah, they're like opposite sides. So
That's
they
one.
could,
Yeah, I guess.
yeah, attorney and prosecutor, like they're opposite sides. And like I'm pretty sure they could tell us a lot about it.
And then
They probably knew about it before it was released.
When they fight, I
honestly.
bet it's really crazy.
They actually don't fight hardly ever. And plus, you know my aunt, she always gets her way.
Well, this also states that
was.
Yeah.
initially when the report was being carried out, Trump is quoted as saying, "Oh my God, this is terrible. This is the end of my presidency. I'm fucked."
You see, I saw that quote, and I just can't believe it's a real quote.
It's hard to believe because it's one of those that like it makes him look like
sounds
he
like
is in trouble.
That sounds
And
like
like,
something
okay,
I would
because I
say.
saw that quote's from CNN, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So no, I don't believe that quote and I'm on that side.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably a fabricated quote. It's not something he would say.
Well, not to mention, I mean, if he has aides close to him that are supposed to help him, like, run his government, and they're, like, sitting there, like, trying to fix his shit, who next to him would leak him saying that?
No one. That
No
just
one, yeah.
fucks up that's their jobs too.
Yeah, that fucks up their.
And so I don't believe that quote one bit, that he would say something like that in front of people.
I don't. No, he might.
Unless there was somebody in the room who didn't need to be in the room, which
say,
is
like,
possible.
That's
But-
possible.
And do they have like? What if there's like could be bugs in the White House? That'd be nuts.
I don't know if they'd be able to put those in there, but
If they were,
it could just be someone on the A team who was just tired of it.
What if it's just a
He could have went to a reporter and made up a quote.
What if it's just
honestly.
a tour group just walking by and this is the Oval Office? I'm fucked now. Just
I am royally fucked.
I read that part, and it's not a quote that's backed by multiple people.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a fabricated quote that some reporter was like, I'm going to write this and get tons of views.
And I mean, it makes sense because
I
when
hate
Trump
that about news.
Well, it makes
it's
sense
fine.
for them to fabricate a quote like that because when Trump was running for president, he was cussing at his rallies. He was freedom of speech. He was saying all this obnoxious shit. So it's not impossible to believe that he would say something like that, but it's also not possible that something like that privately said was leaked like that.
I don't believe
It's not possible. It's just not.
That's
No,
that'd be
that is one of
really
those
dumb.
CNN grabs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on that side, and I know when they're grabbing at things, and that's a huge grab.
I wonder how much hair he's lost.
It doesn't matter. His toupee's gonna.
he's
cover
No,
it.
it's like he's bald.
wearing
I'm
a
pretty
wig.
sure that dude is bald.
He is
I was
bald.
wearing a wig.
It's amazing how ugly he already is, and if he was bald, it'd be even uglier.
Well, there was a video of him.
Yeah, there's a
He
video
took
of
off his
him.
hat
He
and
took
it's
off his
just
hat and
fucking
did this, and I
bald.
was just like, that's an awful comb
Oh,
over.
my favorite thing is like when he appeared on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon's like, he's like, I just want to do it once for me and everyone in the audience. Can I please rub your hair? And Trump's just like, okay. And Jimmy goes over there and rubs it, fucks it all up, and like his hair's just just completely fucks his hair up.
I think what's funny to me is that if you look back 4 years ago, everyone's like, Trump winning would be the funniest fucking thing to ever happen, and now that it's everyone's like, son of a bitch.
The rednecks have won.
I will never
Dude,
forget.
it's never a good thing when a bunch of people are happy and they're all going, woo! It never ends well. It never has in this country's history. It's usually followed by a bunch of years of us going, we're so sorry.
But overall, I don't necessarily think that Trump conspired with Russia.
I don't think he did.
Well, especially at this
I
point.
mean, there's no hard evidence. I mean,
Well,
with
it's-
all the investigating that they've already done, he's not going to get kicked out of the office. I mean, it's not going to happen.
But especially at this point where Russia's pissed off at us anyway. Russia's not even super close to us anymore. Russia's having their own issues, and they're just like, you send people over here, we're going to fucking nuke your ass and shit, we're going to blow up your navy. We're not even on good standards with Russia. Like,
Yeah.
Who do you think would win if like World War III did break out? Who would go where? Like,
well, Russia's immediately going to side with China and
Yep.
shit.
And then we
Instantly.
might
And
lose.
Korea, instantly.
We would lose.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
I don't know.
at that
I'm
point,
not sure if we kind of got the rest of the world with us.
I don't think we would have the rest of
I
the
don't
world. I think
know
we'd
how
have
many people
select
would have.
places.
I mean, we would definitely just have Great Britain. That's about
pretty
it.
Britain's
And
our
Well,
allies.
NATO.
I'm pretty
I don't know
sure-
who else
I'm pretty
NATO.
sure-
What else
You
is
guys got the Filipino support.
I'm pretty sure Europe is our.
Still got troops there. So.
Well,
Pretty
who's
sure
in the
most
NATO?
of Europe supports us after
Spain?
World War II.
Spain, maybe.
Us, Spain, Great Britain, Canada.
Would Italy?
Yes.
Would,
Italy.
like,
Because, I mean, you
like
also have
most
to
of
think-
Europe would, right? Like,
That's
would
NATO,
Would
yeah.
Germany?
Well, you
Yes.
also have to think of how many things Trump has like fucked up. Like he's pulled America out of certain agreements that like Obama got us into that benefited the country, and then Trump pulled us out. He's sending soldiers to places like he's fucking up some of the repairs that the Obama era fixed. So I mean, I would assume at this point we'd have less allies than we did before.
That's the
I
Also-
guarantee if
also,
there's
I
another
kinda-
world war, most countries are sitting it out.
I
Yeah.
also kind of think that, like, 8 years is not a long time to get a lot of things done. Like, I'm pretty sure if Obama had, like,
I don't
Like,
I don't want to give them too much because then it's like a.
oh, I know,
lifelong
but if we have, like, a good president, they're only there for 8 years, then you can't get a lot done in 8
No,
years with the
but-
presidency because there's so much stuff. Like, you
Well,
could-
first off, you have to
could
like
st-
fix things from the presidency before you.
Yeah.
And then even
then
by the time you
implement
finish
your
that,
own
yeah.
stuff.
Well,
Like,
because that instantly goes along with like if Trump got his wall built, the next president would have to tear it down and then start.
See,
doing
that's
his
the
own
problem
thing.
with like the two-party system. Is like if you have a Republican president and then a Democratic president, it's just gonna be back and forth. Just
Exactly. Like the two-party system doesn't like it has worked, but it's not a good system. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like, we fuck each other over because it always goes back and forth between a Democrat wins, they do their thing, the Republican wins, they do their thing. And even if you get a president, like a party president to get 3 or 4 years, like one Democrat president gets 8 years, the next one gets 8 years, eventually a Republican will come in and fuck it all up.
I wish
And
someone
then-
would just be like, I am for America as a whole, and we'll try to do the best for just America, not one side or the other, because they
know.
each try to please their side.
Yeah.
Like, Trump's not going to sit there and be like, I'm going to please the Democrats.
And
no,
they
he's just going
have
to please
to
the
please
Republicans.
they have to please their side because they need the backing from their side. And at that point, if the two sides have complete opposite opinions, you're fucking over one side.
Why do you think
There's no
independents like literally never make it?
winning. Yeah, it just
They have no backing from any side, and it's just I don't know. The way it's set up right now, it's almost impossible for a president to be really successful.
Yeah.
Just because as soon as he's gone, all his progress is probably gonna be reverted.
like I didn't necessarily agree with Obamacare, but it helped out a bunch of people, and
Yeah.
everyone was happy about it. And then Trump immediately, when he got in office, took it away.
Yep.
And then half the country's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, a lot of people depended on Obamacare at
Yeah.
that point, and it's just I don't know, man. Like the two-party system is just so fucked when it comes to that. But like you're never gonna find a moderate president, someone
but
in
like
the middle.
also Obamacare.
Also,
Did
you know
so
how
much with
corrupt
with
politics
doctors,
is
too.
nowadays?
it's
Oh,
all about the
money and power.
Yeah.
They don't care about the people.
That's
They
what
don't give
I was
a
about to say. I was
shit.
like,
They're living fun.
I was like, doctors hated Obamacare
Well, 'cause
because
I mean-
they lost so much money out of it.
Well, I mean, you've heard, and like this.
It's also a
this
better
is
way to do
clearly.
Yeah, I know.
This is clearly on the verge of conspiracy, but you've heard that like most government officials have already set up plans for the end of the world. They've set up private bunkers in areas to survive, like if an asteroid were to hit Earth or some shit. They have hiding places to go to. They don't give a shit about the rest of the people. They care about themselves. They are only setting up for the wealthy to survive, while normal people like us are sitting here fending for ourselves in the
I
apocalypse.
was about to say, I was like, the rest of us are probably going to be drafted. to
It's
the
gonna
war
be fucking
anyways,
Fallout
so it
and-
doesn't really
I
matter
think we'll be too old
for what the war.
to us to be drafted to a war.
Fuck no.
if it were to happen in the next 5 years, we could still be drafted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
I was like, I'm not eligible
I'd give-
anyway.
yeah, you're not.
I was like, I'm
But we
born.
are. You,
Are you eligible?
you're not.
I mean, I'm the only boy.
He's the only man. He's the only boy
yeah,
in the
no.
family.
What if they'd make Bradley go?
Yes,
Probably.
because you would be stuck behind. You would be left behind
I'm
because you're
not
not
eligible because I'm
So
blind, blind in one eye and
Bradley
knee
would
surgery.
Bradley would take your place because he's still a Cruz.
God, he would be such.
Tyler would try to aim down the barrel of a gun and can't see anything. What the fuck am I aiming at?
This is my good eye. Fuck
I mean,
you.
He ends up shooting me. Fuck Tyler. Why?
I'm
about
a
to
good
say-
shot. Okay.
Oh, technically, I can't go, but I already signed the papers that I want to go, so there's really no point.
I'm just the only reason I can't is because if shrapnel got in this eye,
You're fucked.
then I'm fucked, and everyone around me, I become dead weight to everyone else.
I would be sitting there like, Tyler, we gotta go. I can't, my eye, like, fuck it. I'm sorry.
Ryan be like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!"
You just see me
Like-
like, I'm sorry.
Like, just hold the rope. We're walking. Come on. Fuck you.
Do it! Just fucking squeeze the bottle. No, at the end of the day, I thought it would have been interesting to see if their report had proven enough evidence to actually try to impeach Trump. But clearly, the man is just straight up an idiot.
What are the specifications for being impeached?
I think it goes along the lines of treason.
Treason's a long.
Yeah, I was like,
the big one.
I was like, the only one that I really know is treason.
Yeah, turning against your country, that's punishable by death.
Well, well, Bill Clinton, that was treason, wasn't it? Or what was his?
I'm sure he's got a blowjob in the Oval Office.
No, his was
Hey.
the Watergate.
No.
Way to go, dude.
That's Reagan.
Yeah, no.
Reagan was the Watergate scandal.
Was it Reagan or Nixon?
Oh, it was Richard
I
Nixon.
think it was
sorry.
Nixon. I don't think it was
I
Richard.
thought Bill Clinton had a part
I'm
of that
sorry.
too.
In history
Richard
class,
Nixon.
we're learning about Reagan and how he fucked
Yeah,
up
no.
the
I'm
taxes. That's
pretty
why.
sure it was Nixon with the Watergate.
Dude, the
Richard
taxes.
Nixon.
I can't believe how
Okay, so
bad.
what's Nixon?
He's the Watergate
Watergate.
scandal.
Nixon.
I know, but what was his impeachment? Was that treason too?
No, he resigned because he was
Oh, okay.
going to be impeached.
It was
Yeah,
a
most-
forced resignation.
It was a forced resignation.
That's why like Bill Clinton resigned. Most presidents, when it comes to impeachment, if they're close to being impeached, it's easier to resign
just
and
like,
just
"Yeah, I'm out."
save your name.
But there's only been one president that's been impeached, and I don't remember who it was.
I don't remember either.
I'm gonna look that up real quick because I'm not sure if there's ever
George
been an
Washington.
Yeah, there's
actual
only been one.
impeachment.
There's been one impeachment.
But at the end of the day, the man's not stupid enough to turn his back on the country, but he is stupid enough to get himself in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, people also had that issue of sending all those Marines to El Paso or to the border, and everyone was like, "Oh, we just got them back," and I was like, "Well, sorry, don't know what to tell you." But my aunt was like,
Only 2 presidents have ever been impeached.
Oh, so
and
it's
a
been
fucking
2.
ad popped up about the Civil War. Hold on a second.
anyways,
Andrew Johnson and...
that's who it was, Andrew Johnson.
And then the
It's the only one that I
second
know.
one... Nope, Bill Clinton was
Yeah, see?
impeached.
I knew that he was impeached.
He was impeached for lying under oath in regards to sexual relations with White House.
I did not have
Both
sexual
presidents
relations.
were acquitted
I did
in
not
trials
sleep with that woman.
that were held
Not
at the
have
Senate
sexual
because
relations with that woman.
2/3 majority votes needed to convict them were not reached.
Anyways, but like Trump also how long ago?
Wait, this meant both presidents remained in office and served the remainder of their term, but they were impeached.
What was it? It's been like almost 3.5 years since the last time we sent troops over somewhere. And then Trump comes out of nowhere and was like, all right, we're sending our troops to El Paso. And everyone
We're
was
going to go wage war.
Well, like, they didn't even wage war. Like, we just have troops literally just there at the border, like,
Standing there.
why do I have to be here?
I want to go.
Hey, do you mind pulling the ones they already have overseas out
my
first,
cousin
man?
my cousin got sent, and he was like, he sent me a video, and it was like, this is pointless. Afghanistan was way much better than this. At least we had things to do. This is what I'm doing all day for 25 hours, and I'm
Making
like,
sure nobody crosses
yeah.
the
He
damn
goes,
border.
he's sitting there with his boys, and he's like, you see anything? Nope. I see a coyote.
My uncle did that during.
And I
but
was
it was
like-
my uncle did that when he was an Army Ranger, but it was during Desert Storm. It was at another country. He had to watch.
Yeah,
the
exactly. And everyone was like, I want to go back to Iraq if I'm going to be drafted. And I was like,
I don't know
oh my
where.
God, why would you want to go
I don't
back
know where
to Iraq?
I don't know where Desert Storm was, but he had to watch.
Let's go ahead and pull those guys out.
I don't know where it was, but he
It's
was
somewhere in
he was
the
an
Middle
Army
East.
Ranger in
So,
Desert Storm. He's a
Last but
badass.
not least, we'll end on kind of a note that Tyler doesn't want to talk about.
I don't want
but-
to talk about
Oh, Ryan doesn't want to talk about. My bad, not Tyler. Texas.
abortion.
Yeah, Texas recently. Did it actually get passed?
Yeah, it got passed.
Texas passed a bill that states basically that if you were having an abortion strictly because you don't want the child, it's punishable by death.
Mm-hmm. They're
And
they're put on death penalty.
I
death row.
do not. I don't disagree with that.
I don't
either.
agree with it because you kill someone. Like you're trying to like it's just I feel like it's just like counterintuitive.
But I mean, if you have an abortion and clearly it's at the point where it's alive in you, you know that its heart's beating and shit. If you have an abortion, you did technically just commit murder.
You did kill
killed
someone
the
at
child.
See, the only thing that is the like one of the best points about like abortion is murder is that when you kill a pregnant woman, it's a double homicide.
Yeah.
So,
But that makes
in
sense.
the eyes of the law, you're killing 2 people. But when you get an abortion, it's not considered a person. But like when someone murders a pregnant person, it's a double homicide.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well,
get convicted for 2 murders.
There are only a handful of reasons why abortion is okay. One, Tyler stated, if the mother's life is in danger, it is okay to have an abortion because you save her and then she has
can-
a chance to have another child.
Sometimes they can't, but it's better for like because there's something where when you get pregnant, the cells go through the fallopian tubes and it can get stuck in there. And it keeps growing, but it'll get too big and it'll eventually burst and kill the mother. It happened to my stepmom. So she had to have her fallopian tube
I'm trying
removed.
to get that away from you.
But technically that wasn't really an abortion because it was still like, it wasn't formed. There wasn't even a heart or anything. It was just a clump of cells. That's all it was. Nothing else was formed. But I remember, it's the saddest I've ever seen my dad. They told him it's not even close, like there's not even a gender, there's nothing, a heart's not beating, nothing has been formed, it's just a clump of cells that got stuck in the fallopian tube, and I've never seen my dad cry till that. That's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry, I think. And when my grandfather passed away.
Well, see, that is an acceptable time to get an abortion. Or if a woman is raped and she clearly doesn't want the child because she wasn't intending to have the child and it's a traumatizing experience for her, in the eyes of that person, it is a child, but at the same time, it's your rapist child. Like, if you get an abortion at that point,
So out of wedlock.
who's going to blame you for that?
But hold on, here's the thing about that is, you can't use the marginal to justify every other abortion. You know the percentage of like pregnancies that happen from rape? It's below like 1%.
Yeah.
Because if a rapist rapes someone and gets them pregnant, there is now DNA evidence of that rape. So most of them, like,
I'm not using that as an excuse to justify
I know, I'm not saying
any
you
other
do,
type
I'm
of
saying
abortion.
most people do. Like, if you ask someone who's like, I guess I'm not gonna say a specific like party or something like that, but if you ask someone who's like for abortion, the first thing they will say is, "What about a woman being raped?" I'm like, that's less than 1% of the time. You can't use that to justify the other 99%
exactly
of abortions. You can't.
But that's where it falls in the category of there's only a handful of reasons where abortion is justifiable. Yeah. And in the end, it's still murder, and it still probably shouldn't be done. But at the same time, if the mother doesn't want the kid could end up going to the adoption agency, foster home. It could still end up having a shitty life anyway. Who knows? The possibilities are just out there.
See, I would rather live in a society that is like, as if abortions were completely outlawed, there'd be, I don't know how many more people born a year, but
we're already overpopulated.
Isn't it upwards in the millions or something like that?
There's a lot of people in this country.
Or is it like it might be hundreds of thousands, like extra babies born a year. But would you rather live in a society that's like, it would be, I forgot what the word is. We would be in, like, we wouldn't be, like, it would probably be in poverty.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the best society ever, but we wouldn't be murdering people for no reason. Would you rather live in that, or would we just be in a prosperous society but we murder babies?
If you're looking at it in terms of morality, it'd be better not to murder the babies. But if you're looking in terms of the survival of the country and the state of our economy and the people who are in power, abortion is the better option.
Yeah, but I'd rather live in the poverty one. I'd feel better if our people didn't kill babies every day.
Well, if people would just use condoms, I mean, people would use proper
99.9% protected.
If people would just use the proper protection half the time, pregnancy would not be an issue for people who aren't ready to
and
be
especially
parents.
since, and I hate talking about this because it's just one of the points though. Like our society with like Teen Mom, how it like accepted it, and all these kids
it almost glorified.
They get TV shows.
They did glorify teen pregnancy.
It glorified it, and like I remember the day that
there's some girls out there who are like, we're gonna get pregnant, we're gonna be on Teen Mom and become celebrities.
And
I will.
My mom sat there,
that.
and I'll never forget my mom's reaction. She was like, I wonder, we were sitting there watching MTV, and that like the first episode came on, and it was Teen Mom, and it was like, new episode of Teen Mom, talking about how moms, my mom was like, why is this on? Like,
she's like, it was not fun.
It's just glorifying. Like,
I remember my dad thinking it was stupid.
Yeah, and like, it's because it was glorifying like little girls to get pregnant. Like,
because it's kind of like how Kim Kardashian got famous off of making a porn sex tape. A lot of people are just like, okay, well then maybe if I make a sex tape, I can become popular.
But I was like,
who did that? There was some teen mom who did that.
No,
there was a teen mom who did that, and now she's a porn star.
I think it was Farrah Abram.
It was.
Farrah
Abram was hot.
But then if you also think like Lawrence Fishburne's daughter attempted to make a sex tape to become famous. It's one of those that like you can glorify anybody for any reason in this country, and it's kind of stupid.
But like things like that, like that's what makes a society like that makes me wonder like what the fuck are we thinking?
Where's
as
this
a
country
headed? And I'm like, what?
To the ground.
And like you look at other countries and they're like, we don't talk about. I'm like, why do we talk about that shit? Like no. Like why? Why though?
Shouldn't be a TV show.
Yeah, that's
Should've never been a TV show.
Exactly.
Because people will do about anything for money nowadays.
Yes,
because money's the root of all evil.
About anything, like.
But you need money to survive.
Like, I do not try to like care too much about money. I know a lot of people do. I try not to worry about it or just like, because I know there's like. Fights have happened over money, and it's never good ever. Like families can be ruined by money.
Can I say something without sounding like an asshole?
Maybe
you don't necessarily have to worry about money.
I know that.
I know. And that's where I said I'm not trying.
And that's because I try not to. Like I could be an asshole with y'all.
You could,
and not like if we would go out to eat somewhere and one of y'all were like short on money or something, I'd be like most people would be like, if I pay for you, you have to pay me back. Like 99% of people are that way. Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I think that way. If you guys buy me something, I have to pay you back. But...
See, but most of the time, I guarantee I'm pretty sure I've bought you food, I have never once made you pay me back.
You've bought me 2 video games over the last several months.
I was gonna say a couple of days.
See, but it's
several months.
See, but I don't mind that because
he only bought me Anthem and World War Z.
Okay, yeah.
Now, if you want to include like league skins that he drops in every now and then, no, it's probably
I
a
do
couple
that
weeks.
it doesn't bother me because I try not to be a stingy asshole with money. Like, usually if someone buys something for you, they're going to be like, hey, you have to pay me back.
I don't know.
And then if that person doesn't pay them back, it ruins that friendship sometimes.
See, I'm the friend who's like, if I buy you something, just fucking take it.
That's like I tell Christian every single time. Like, Christian's like, you don't have to do that. I was like, Christian, just shut the fuck up and take my gift,
how long
bitch.
have I been doing that for, like, y'all? Like, I can't tell you how much money I've spent on Joe and fucking food.
But here's my thing. When it comes down to money, if someone doesn't necessarily have to worry about a money situation, then you're carefree about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to use, like, me and Josh, for example. I would completely expect that if Josh bought something for me, the cleaner's closed down, he doesn't really have a job, he's in school, I would want to pay him back because I know he needs the money. Like, it's one of those, in certain categories, you want the money back because you didn't necessarily have the money to spend. But in other cases, it's one of those, yeah, you're doing a nice gesture for your friend and you want to make them happy, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. But money, in my opinion, is completely the root of all evil. Because money gives people power. It gives you the power to buy your happiness and flex over everyone else who can't buy what you
We all know who that person is.
I tried. What?
I said we all know who that person is. Add that we used to talk to.
Oh, fuck me. I thought about Josh's Rolex for a second. I was like, Josh likes to flex on us. That's the first thing I thought of. And I was like,
we got a weird...
Not with money, though. Not with money, though.
Something bigger than money.
Yeah.
Money can't buy, ladies and gentlemen.
My Twitter is at j.cortez.
Money might
I think I should spell it out for
nowadays.
the first time. JDOTCORTEZ. You can find me on Twitter.
Check our Instagram. The Twitters are in the bio.
You can find us there.
At Gambling Gamers.
But no, I don't know why, because there's people that I know who, like, because I'm, like, at Tech, I know they're well-off people, but they're, like, not generous or nice about anything. And I'm just like, holy shit. Like, there's stuff when I was a pledge at my fraternity, like, if you bought something for the fraternity, like, they'd give you a check, you'd give them the receipt, they'd give you a check, they'd pay you back. But when I bought them something, I'd be like, dude, we're trying to rebuild this fraternity. We're already poor as shit. I have an angle grinder that I use to, like, help, like, just build shit at the lodge. And I remember I bought, like, the wheel disc for it and stuff like that, and they tried to, like, pay me back for it. I'm like, dude, the wheel disc's like $5. I don't want to check for $5 to keep it. And they're like,
give me $1.50.
I was like, one time everybody was hungry, so I went to, like, Cedars and bought a fuck ton of pizza one time. They're like, the fraternity's gonna pay you back. And I was like, do we have money for that? They're like, probably not. I was like, then I don't care. It's fine. It's fine.
Eat. You need it.
I was like,
you're looking skinny. I can see your bones. I see them bones popping
but, like,
out. I see your ribs.
That's every single college kid at that.
Other people look at me
We're
and
all
be
broke
like,
as fuck.
and they're like, you're crazy. I'm like, why? And they're like, because I was like, how much are our dues? And our dues is pledged for like $1,200. I'm like, you can pay the dues. You're not poor. You're going to Tech. Tech a semester is expensive, and then, like, on top of joining a fraternity, more expensive, and then other shit you have to buy. Like, the girls, when they pay dues, girls' dues are like $3,000. By the way, that's how much it is for being in a sorority. But the only reason they're that expensive is because it includes their T-shirts, party fees. It includes all the fees at one time with the fraternity. It's just the house bill most of the time, and, like, the insurance for the house. We have to pay for the T-shirts and the parties out of pocket.
I don't try to do that.
That's why I don't understand fraternities and
I don't
sororities.
either.
It's expensive for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be in one. You really don't. But you make decent connections. You have fun. I get it. But it's not a requirement. It's not one of those, like, if you don't join a fraternity,
There's some people like that. There's some fraternities like that. If you're not in a fraternity, you're a fuck. And I'm just like...
I've talked to girls who have asked me which fraternity I'm in. I'm like, I'm not in one then. They've legitimately stopped talking to me at that point.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
It's a social status at that point.
See, like, but
a lot of the, like, my fraternity, like, we have people who they're called GEEDs, or, it's called, like, Goddamn Independent is what it stands for. They're called GEEDs. And, they're nice people. We don't care. We don't care if, like, they come to our lodge and hang out. But most fraternities are going to be like, get the fuck out. It's just like, why do you gotta be a dickhead?
I only understood, like, some of the fraternities, like, for, like, the pre-med kids, like, they joined just that fraternity for pre-med.
Yeah, there's some like that.
And, like, that, I only understood those fraternities. But then there's other ones that, like, people just go and join, and I'm like,
Why?
There's some
I
of
don't
them
get
the
that.
connections you can get. Like most of them do it for the connections because the connections are insane.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I only just took it as a standpoint of, like, joining...
Your buddy Jeff, your brother Jeff over there, his dad's the owner of a big time company that you want to work for.
And
Pretty
he's
easy to get
like
a job.
Like if let's say I wanted to be like an engineer at a big ass like oil company. Like what's a big ass oil company?
Fuck.
Fuck, I don't know. I don't do oil.
Your oil...
I don't remember the name of what my company works at. But let's say like I want to like interview for a job there, and on my resume it says like my fraternity's alum. If that dude is an alum and like there's like 1,000 people interviewing and I'm the
You've already got
only
an in at that
alum,
point.
I've already got the job.
No.
If just because of he's an alum and I am too.
Well, then if you also want to...
Technically, we're like in a brotherhood together, and they're like, "Oh, he's the top
If
of the
you-
list. Let's interview this."
If you want to get more douchey with it, though, there's also people who join it for the connection of one area of the fraternity pays for the whole group to go skiing. Yeah, we're gonna fucking go
I was
skiing.
gonna say, I was like, we also know that one person.
that shit's fun as hell, by the way.
Because the guy we used to work with at the cleaners, I won't say his name, but his fraternity went skiing every month, so he missed 2 days of work because of it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he just left to go skiing with
I
him.
didn't know it was a
Every
fraternity.
week? Yeah, I knew he was in one.
It was like
at
every month.
I went to a formal with my friend Ashley, and he was there. He bought me a drink.
They went skiing so often, and it ended up leading to him being fired because he just was fucking up at work and not showing up.
We have one ski trip, and that's during the winter. We just do a ski trip during Christmas break.
Yeah,
And
no,
then we
he-
have like a spring break thing where like there's like you can invite like we had people go to South Padre, we had people go to Florida, we had some people go to fucking Cancun. The fraternity didn't pay for it. We just all got a group of friends together, chipped in, and got a bunch of money together, and then there was like
Cancun.
they're
I ain't
like
going there.
they're like, who wants to go to South Padre? And like I was one of the people. I went to South Padre freshman year, and that shit was lit. It was awesome. Don't remember most of it, but it was fun.
We're about the hour and 30 mark, so I'm just going to go ahead and round this out. I don't think Texas is in the wrong for the bill. I think if you're going to pass a bill like that, you need to look at it more along the lines of what are the circumstances behind the abortion. Clearly, you can't just kill somebody
I
for
don't
having an
agree with
abortion.
it at all.
I agree with it.
I agree.
But I think it needs to be specific. You need to have a specific reason for why did they get the abortion? Is it within the confines of those couple of reasons that justify it? Or if it's one of those just like,
Well, it's
let's
like
just
a
kill everyone who has an abortion.
Well, it's like a doctrine, or so it's like the doctrine of duality or something. You have to look at the lesser of the two evils, and if it's the lesser of the two evils, it's not wrong. Like, if, let's say there's, like, people on a train track, and there's, like, 8 people tied here and 1 person tied here, and you have the train's going towards the one person, or the bunch of people. If you pull the lever to switch it to kill the one person over this, technically you didn't do anything wrong. You saved more people. But it's your choice.
But it also...
Yeah, but the bill also has restrictions like that. Like
It has
as long as
the lesser of the two evils.
as long as like the woman like needs the abortion, it's okay. But unless she just wants it just to get it,
But
Well, sometimes you can choose it because sometimes there could be a risk of the baby dying. It's not like, or like if the doctor was like, because I'm pretty sure you can figure out the percentage of like you actually living through childbirth. Because some mothers randomly die during childbirth and there's like no explanation for it. It just happens sometimes. Like pretty sure a doctor would be like, there's a 60% chance you could die giving birth to this child. The mother could be like, I could just have another baby. What are the other options? Be like, we would have to like abort the baby for you to live. That is the duality. Because if she has the baby, she dies, and the baby could die too, and it dies, there's no winning there.
But
so
you
if
also
she
have to
chooses the
think-
abortion, lives, have another baby, it might scar her a little bit, but what she did wasn't wrong.
But you also have to think about the more fucked up bills that got passed. Like, I don't remember if it was in, like, New York or wherever the fuck it was, but it was one of those, they passed a bill where you could legally get an abortion, like, 6 months into your pregnancy.
it's New
That's
York.
fucked up.
Oh yeah, it
That
was
is
like
fucked
the third. Was it the third trimester?
Yeah,
It was
it's
something
something,
where,
it's
like,
something
the
like,
baby-
really
But
close.
it was in New
you
York.
could like I was born like 2.5 months, 2 months premature, something like that. I was 2 pounds and 13 ounces when I was born.
Jesus.
Like you could have technically I could be aborted, but I was born and I'm here now. But you could abort a baby like that old, and that's ridiculous.
I think that bill is more fucked up than the Texas one.
Yeah,
hands
that
down.
one is.
Because if the child's that close to being born and then you give them the right to just kill it like that, that is complete manslaughter. Fuck that. Like,
That bill also
I
got
think
passed
it's
in
insane
Washington,
that
I
people
think,
still
too.
agree with abortion at like you can abort as long as the baby is inside the mother, and some people are like, okay, if you take a knife and stab the baby in the head, like is that morally right? And they're like, it's some like I remember I watched someone called Ben Shapiro. He said like, and someone was like, it's not a person. They're like, what makes a person a person? And someone said the first breath, the first heartbeat. There's no like definitive thing that makes like a living being, even though like you can hear a heartbeat.
You know that it's there.
You know you can hear a heartbeat before you like you'll know you're pregnant, and then you can hear a heartbeat. Like the heart's the first thing to form.
Well, I think I can openly say, and I don't think any of you would disagree with me, we're all pro-life. We don't agree necessarily with abortion. No. Like there are instances where
there's certain circumstances where I think
it's an option. It's a viable option.
Like if I was a husband and the doctor came to me and said there's an 80% chance your wife's going to die while giving birth, I'd probably be like, I'm going to discuss this with you, honey. Because this is not okay.
When you start talking about abortion, though, it comes to the saying, it's her body, it's her choice. Well, what if I wanted to keep the kid, but she didn't? Why does she get to choose to take the life when I wanted the kid? Like, abortion is just a fucked up stance, and I don't think it'll ever be resolved. I really don't.
It's always going to be a debate because
it's like politics. It'll always be a debate on what's wrong and what's right.
You also can never kill an idea, ever. Ideas will live like, what's it called? We might have defeated the Nazis, but there's still Nazis out there because it's an idea and it'll never die. You cannot kill an idea.
Yeah.
I forgot who quoted that. It's a quote from some fucking philosopher or something. But you can never kill an ideal. No matter how hard you try, it will never die. Like slavery, that idea will never die. Even though it's abolished in like 90% of the world. It'll never die.
Well, it's just one big fucked up place.
Yeah, the world is absolute random chaos. There is no rhyme or reason for it, and that bothers people because there's no one can control anything of it.
Well, this has been episode 8 of Views Beyond the News with the Gambling Gamers.
Dark.
It did get dark.
My bad.
And we appreciate...
I'm usually the person who's loud and funny, but I can get dark. There's stuff I do know about. I'm not...
You see that, ladies? He's sensitive. Twitter.com/Tyler
for some reason,
Cruz 10.
I'm so glad you don't know my actual...
Tyler _Cruz 5.
Fuck, I don't even know what it is, honestly.
It is. That's what it is.
Well, this has been episode 8, and we'll catch you guys next week. Thanks. It's amazing how often...
Hopefully, like a brighter subject.
Hey, Christian, you recording this?
Yeah, I am.
All right, well, fuck off.